It says it right there on their badge.
Yep.
Be my elder.
I've got a burning in my bosom for you.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. But yeah, that story was awesome too. I really like Tina's.
Tina's was
Oh,
really
man.
great.
Her
Dear
reference.
Muslima.
That was amazing.
That girl is just magically delicious. There's just no two ways about it.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
And
And Rebecca Watson, holy crap. That
I
was
know.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hers was hilarious.
Yeah. Talking about hooking up with Mormon missionary boys, yeah.
Get the fuck out of my apartment. Hers fit in nicely with yours because
I thought so.
hers
It was
had
like
an
a
ex-Mormon
sandwich between Mormon boys.
Yep.
sandwich between Mormon boys.
So to speak. Yeah. Yeah, I almost did a reading, a nonfiction reading, but we were trying to balance out between fiction and nonfiction. But I've got a nonfiction reading I sometimes do at Godless Perverts called There's Something About Paul. And it just argues that the Apostle Paul, and I'm just saying, was super, super gay. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah.
hell yes.
Super
I mean,
gay.
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Not that there's anything
He
wrong with
was.
that.
Except for the fact
A lot
that
wrong
he
with
was,
Paul, but not with that.
He was
yeah.
a self-hating gay.
Super self-hating.
Which means there's gay hate in the Bible.
Super gay hate,
So
yeah.
that's why we don't like Paul. Not because he's gay.
And how ironic
He's
is
a
it?
bad gay.
How ironic that the most
Bad
homophobic
person.
verses in the Bible come from a closeted homosexual.
Yeah, we're going to have a show about this.
For
really
sure.
are.
For sure.
We'll call it closet cases in the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ruth. Come
Ruth,
on.
David and Jonathan.
Yep.
David and Jonathan, definitely. My mom, I remember my mom once when I was in high school got really mad when she heard, she had heard somebody refer to David and Jonathan as, in love, it was...
The same way that he loves his wife.
Yeah,
Isn't that
I think
the
it was
universe?
when she was in
Love
college.
surpassing the love of women.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I think it was when she
Not
was...
just as good as, but better than.
Better.
Yeah.
She was studying, something biblical for, her schoolwork or something, and so she was learning Greek, and she read something about how the Greek that they used to or the Hebrew, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not a biblical
Well,
scholar.
the
I don't
Old
know.
Testament would have been written in Hebrew,
Yeah.
but by the time there
Translated
are
later.
Greek translations that came later. Yeah,
But basically, it was basically the argument that the word for love that they used in that language
was the same
as for a wife,
Yeah.
and she was really mad when
yeah,
she read about it.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get to the end of that story, and I'm sorry.
It's still a hilarious
It is
story.
hilarious.
I got a lot of them from my family,
And once you start talking the Bible, there is so much kooky crap in that thing.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's like a Snickers bar. No matter how you slice it, it comes up peanuts.
For our listeners that weren't here last night for David's awesome speech, it was violent sex and sexy violence, right?
Sexy violence, violent sex, the weird-ass morality of the Bible. is the full
Sex
title.
and violence.
Exactly.
Sex and violence.
Well, we need
the
to edit in a clip of that later
Oh,
on.
yeah.
That's the only editing that will go on. We'll just add stuff to what you said.
Perfect.
Not take out anything that you said.
Add thunderous applause every now and again while you're at it.
I
Sure.
like
Yeah.
it.
Woo! We have an audience. Not really. We do. Liz
kind
is
of.
here.
Liz. Yay, Liz.
Liz
We
is
are.
amazing. She found
Isn't she, though?
random guy with the toolbox.
What?
Yep.
She did.
That's her
Liz is the
superpower.
reason why we're not completely fucked over and stuck in Missouri.
I know.
Nice.
I was about to cry.
Yeah, I was too.
Missouri, you know. They don't call it misery for nothing.
Yep.
It's right there in the name. No, actually, Skepticon, which is in Springfield, Missouri every year, this is freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the
It
most
really
amazing
is.
secular event on the known universe.
It's my favorite. I've gone to a few of them, and
Yep.
it's still hands down my
Yep.
favorite.
I saw someone earlier, and I don't remember their name, so I can't actually call them out, but they were disparaging the fact that Skepticon is held in Missouri, and I'm like, it's put on by the students who live in Missouri.
Exactly.
Missouri.
That's the whole
They
point.
said you should at least have it in a blue state. I'm like, why the fuck would we have an atheist conference in a blue state? Why? Why do we have that? It doesn't make any sense. We don't need it in a blue state. You're
Exactly.
fine.
Exactly.
I'm from Texas. You have it in a blue state, we'll have to drive super far away to get there.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah. Bring the doctor to the patients. Not
Yeah, exactly. And his reasoning for it was something about he didn't want to go and put money in the local Christian economy, and I'm like, then don't go to a Christian store. What?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
The local pubs love us. They make special drinks specifically
Exactly.
for us.
Yeah, just don't have gelato.
Yeah, just don't have gelato. That's the best thing I had to say about Gastropub last night was their drinks were pretty good.
Yeah,
not too expensive either.
Not too. It was
know
only
what
like
they're doing.
$5. It was
Sweet.
nice.
Sweet, yeah.
Of course, I have a cold.
Try
so I
that
can't
in a
really
blue
take-
state. Yeah.
Yeah, blue staters.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the blue laws in Missouri, the non-blue
Yeah.
laws in Missouri are fucking amazing.
Non-existent alcohol
Yeah.
laws.
Wow.
I love it.
Because it's so different from living in Texas.
So no, I don't want the Skepticon to move because then I wouldn't be able to buy liquor in Missouri.
Yeah, it'd defeat the whole purpose, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the whole reason I come here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so I can buy liquor.
Well, that's really, when you get down to it, that's what every convention is, right? It's a bunch of people who haven't seen each other in a year,
Yeah.
who get together and get shit-faced drunk and
No
act
sleep.
like fools and no
Yep.
sleep. And
Yeah, Mary on Brute Reason had a really good post out this morning about that, about the social reasons for having conventions.
Yeah. And she gave the best talk yesterday. Oh my God, it was awesome.
I heard, and that was the one I wanted to go to. I didn't get to go to any of the workshops yesterday because we ended up down here doing interviews like all day.
Yeah.
So
it was
we
a
were
great
working.
program, though.
It was a great program.
Yeah. I really would have loved to just be able to go and see all of them, but they were being held at the same time. and
I
stuff.
know. It actually was very sad. There was some awesome programs all along throughout the morning, yesterday morning. And every single one was competing with two other awesome programs.
I saw that.
It was painful, really.
It was a tough choice on
Yeah.
some of them. Like, oh man,
So I just didn't go to any of them.
Yeah.
That's
Aw.
the only fair thing.
it was. We have talked to a lot of the people who gave their talks.
We
though,
have.
So
That's
we've-
good.
It's
That's good.
kind of like we've gotten a crash course on what their speech was. So
kind of.
I don't know. I like it. We get
So-
to work and play at the same time.
Yay.
So did you want to talk any more about the speech you gave last night, the sexy violence speech?
Yeah, I mean, if you see my talks on
Sex and
YouTube,
violence.
this is by far my most favorite of all the speeches I've given so
It
far.
is a good one.
Because it's just so damn funny for starters. But it's what it is for the viewers at home. It's an investigation into some of the more twisted stories in the Bible. But I didn't go for the low-hanging fruit. I didn't go for all the stories everybody knows about.
No, you went with the more obscure ones.
I went with the more obscure ones, and even then, I only went with the ones that were doubly fucked up.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But you know what? We can dig a little deeper, and it's
it gets
even
even
more
worse.
twisted and fucked
Yeah.
up. And that's what I'm most proud of. Yeah.
Where I think one of the most fucked up stories in the Bible is David and Bathsheba.
Yeah,
Bathsheba. I thought you were going to mention that, and then you didn't.
Yeah,
I
too
was
easy.
Like, maybe that's
Too
one
easy.
of the too easy ones.
Too easy.
But that is
Yeah.
so fucked up.
And you know what's funny? Everything you read about in the Bible about King David, you kind of have to take it with a
Yeah.
grain of salt for
Yeah.
starters, because
It's propaganda.
it is propaganda. He was not a nice guy. He was a motherfucker, you know. He was like
Kind of
Shakespearean.
literally.
Yeah.
He was Shakespearean bad, you know.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
is.
I mean, it's weird reading David knowing that it was supposed to be propaganda to make him look good, and it makes him look terrible, like by today's standards.
And that's what he thinks. It's like,
So
wow, what
that's what he
if that's
thought
the
looked
good,
good.
yeah, if that's
What
the
is-
polished up version, holy
What
crap.
did he actually do? That's what I want
Yeah.
to know.
Yep. Yep.
King David might be even worse than Hitler.
That's ironic. Wow.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be.
David worse than Hitler.
God. David,
Yes. What? Yeah.
we just called you Hitler.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you did there.
See, we go with the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
We do. We go with the
Gotcha
gotcha
questions.
questions.
Damn it.
David,
Yeah.
if feminists want to be equal, why don't women's clothes have pockets?
Real argument we've heard.
She says, ask a man who was wearing a kilt and a sprawn last night.
Yes. That is an actual gotcha question I've heard from a friend of mine. It was hilarious. I was like, what?
Checkmate, feminist.
Checkmate,
Yeah.
feminists.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is that not a meme yet? Checkmate, feminist.
Maybe it
Should be,
is. I'll have to
yeah.
look it up later. There's no Wi-Fi here. That's the only complaint I have about Skepticon. There's
Ah.
no Wi-Fi in the building.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of awesome because otherwise everyone would be on.
Yeah, they're not
It's
all
just like Pioneer Days, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
just like the Pioneer days. Come to Skepticon. It's just like the Pioneers.
We're going back to the 90s.
Ooh, tumbleweeds and
So it's going to be in
no
Portland
Wi-Fi.
next year? Is that it?
In Portland with the hipsters.
We'll have Stephen Olsen on later.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Steven Olsen also
So,
rocks.
Did you want to do... Can you do a drop for us? Like, say your name.
Yeah.
And then, like, and I'm a she-thinker.
Yes,
or
I can do
a
that.
he-thinker, whatever you're most
I'm a
comfortable
he-she
with.
thinker. No, that doesn't sound better either. Yeah.
Not really.
I will. Okay. Hey, I'm Dave Fitzgerald, and I'm a she-thinker. For a guy, I mean. No? No?
You want to try it? All right, go ahead. Try it again.
Hey there, I'm Dave Fitzgerald, the author of Nailed and the Complete Heretic's Guide to Western Religion, and I hiccuped and messed up the whole thing. Fuck. Ah. Let's take that whole again. All right. Too long, anyway. Hey, I'm Dave Fitzgerald. I'll never get this done. So, hey, I'm Dave Fitzgerald, the author of Nailed, and I'm a she-thinker.
Thank you. Now you have to say it sexy, like last night.
Hey there.
I mean, last night at Godless Perverts, not like last night
Right.
like we were hanging out.
You said you never tell!
You kind of got two of them because you also got to read the Song of Solomon.
Yeah. We should have you doing that throughout all of our interviews today.
That
Just
would
you
be
doing
awesome.
the sex noises and
Porn
porn noises. All right, seriously though, do your thing. Do your sexy voice,
How sexy? Are we talking like Tom Jones cheesy sexy?
like the way you were last night
Like Billy D. Williams
during
sexy?
your talks.
There you go.
Hello, everybody. This is David Fitzgerald. And oh, yes, I am a she-thinker.
That was perfect.
Was
Good
it?
job.
Yay.
That's what she said.
It gave me a fun feeling in my tummy.
That's what she said. Those are high fives.
She's bad, but I like her.
Yeah, I know. Just audio.
Just
Yeah.
audio.
We don't need video.
the Skeptics and the Bible.
Yes.
They should put that in every hotel.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm tired of going to hotels and they give me the Bible. I need something I can read.
Yeah, something you can
Skeptics
actually read.
annotated Bible
Oh.
is definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
Mine is annotated because I'm doing a thing with it later. So.
There is like a website, right? And I use the
That's-
website most of the time. The
That's
online-
Yeah.
what it was originally. I guess they published a print version.
Originally. Did you want to put the headphones on?
Sure.
So you can maybe hear us a little bit better? There you go. Is he close enough?
I
Where
think
he was?
so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. We were good. Okay. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Faisal Saeed Al-Mutar. I'm the founder of Global Secular Humanist Movement and now work as the Public Relations Director for Sean Fullecroft's new organization, Global Secular Organizing and Strategy. It's the vision for the group can be found on Richard Dawkins Foundation website for the 10 points for secular America. We are trying to create a grassroots movement for secularists and give them political representation in the Congress and in their respected states. And we're trying to take that vision globally.
So
awesome.
that does sound awesome. What are some things you're doing to achieve those goals?
Well, for now, we're the group is at its start, and we're trying to recruit volunteers and organizers. Our mission for 2000, when presidential things happen, we're going to start with Iowa caucus. We're going to bring some secularists and atheists to be there and get media attention and be heard. And at each caucus in which the presidential candidates for 2016 going to appear, we're in our inception. Even though the vision has been pretty much written in Sean Fullecroft's book for Attack on the Theocrats.
Oh yeah, I read that
Yeah.
book.
That's a great book.
It is a great one, and that's one of the reasons why it brought me to work with Sean, because I think he's the guy to do it. He got experience. He worked in law and politics before, and he knows what he's talking about. And people like Richard Dawkins are going to help us from MythBusters, and we are trying to Adam Savage and.
Oh, you should see if you can get on to MythBusters. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I could be like, I know that guy.
Really? That will be wonderful. I mean, we're trying to spread the vision and have people who agree with us and bring us more volunteers and bring us more organizers, because this is, I think, is very important. This is a moment in our time in which we should seize it, because now there are more atheists are coming out, and if you look at all other minorities that have much better representation in Congress on legislation level, much more than atheists are. And that is unfortunate. And now it's time for atheists and secularists to be united for a good cause. The main mission for the organization is actually get religious bias out of government, because religious right is harming the country, and the theocrats all over the world are doing the same. So...
Yeah, the main thing I want is in Texas to get the blue laws gone, and open up the abortion clinics again. Yeah, that's what
those
I
are
want.
The two biggest
Those are the two biggest things that I worry about in Texas.
Yeah.
Where can I get my abortion and where can I get my liquor? That's
Yeah,
Those
I mean,
are the two biggest theocrat input laws in our state.
Yeah.
It is.
That like just royally screw things in Texas.
yeah.
I mean, if the secularists are, I mean, to be a secularist doesn't mean somebody's an atheist. I mean, our message
Exactly.
is actually
That's true.
to get theocracy out of government, and that is what actually the founding fathers of the United States intended. I mean,
Yep.
theocracy is something foreign to America because it's not constitutional. So when now is the time for. I mean, as I said, like we are planning to have a conference in each state, and we're planning to organize secularists and atheists in each state to deal with issues in their state, respective states. So if secularists in Texas get organized, I mean, I used to live in Texas myself, so I think that it has a huge future.
There's a pretty big atheist movement.
yeah,
Yeah,
there is.
I used to live in Houston, and it has like one of the biggest atheist communities in actually the United States.
And Austin is right up there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Austin also got Matt Dillahunty atheist experience,
Yeah.
pretty much active community. In Dallas, they also have some.
They have like 10 different groups in each city in Dallas.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's like hard to decide which group to join. You're
Yeah,
like, I don't
we're
know where
part
I want to
of-
go.
We're part of Metroplex
I mean,
Atheists,
it's,
and I go to the Fellowship of Free Thought too.
Yeah.
And it's also, I mean, it needs to be mentioned, I mean, Texas is a very powerful state in the nation. For example, the Texas textbooks
Yes.
set a standard for many states around the country. And their size and their population and the electoral college, and when it comes to presidential candidates, I mean, Texas is one of the most powerful states in the country, and it's a very rich state.
And we've had a lot of pushback in Texas.
So, I mean, if I'm pretty optimistic, but what we need is not only optimism, but actually get stuff done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I spoke. I've done about 25 speeches in Texas. I mean, I'm familiar with many of the organizers and many of the people who are in the atheist communities there, and I'm going to contact them now. I mean, we are getting the 501c3 done, which is actually it's done by this month. So
Yeah.
we are getting the organization set up, and we're trying to reach out to everyone. And Texas is definitely one of our choices.
Well, where can people go to find out more information to get involved with?
Yeah, they can go to the website, which is globalsecular.org, and the Facebook page for it is Global Secular Humanist Movement. If they just go www.facebook.com/GSHMP, and if they just Google Global Secular,
It'll pop up.
Yeah, because the page has about 250,000 followers.
Wow.
That's what I usually tell people. Like, I don't know, Google it.
Yeah, it's easier because I personally I don't remember websites. But if people just Google Global Secular only, it's gonna appear on the first. I mean, I work so hard to put it on the first, so
That's
I
awesome.
want to see the fruits of my work.
Yeah.
I'm hoping eventually, anytime somebody Googles Dirty Nerdy, that my avatar shows up first. That's
Yeah,
my goal in life.
Shethinkers is, if you Google Shethinkers, we're the first thing to pop up.
Sweet.
Because Shethinkers
Yeah,
is
and-
very unique.
I mean, the website is all getting now set up, and we're like trying to recruit people. We're also gonna put them emails, and we're gonna create like each state. We're gonna create them a website by itself. If people would like to contact me, they can just go to my website, Faisal FAISALALMUTAR.com. My name is hard to pronounce, but it's Fay like say and Sal like Sal, so Faisal.
Faisal.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not very hard.
Yeah, I need to explain. Thankfully, I mean, in Texas, my name wasn't butchered many times, but in other states, they butcher it, which
Yeah.
is like Basil, Dazel. Like,
What are they? It's clearly an F at the beginning of your name.
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that I've like faced, like in Los Angeles, the first day I spent in America, the guy thought Iraq and Afghanistan are the same country.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is why we need better textbooks.
Yep.
we need
Obviously.
a lot of stuff. Yeah, and I mean, this is one of the things that get me actually really excited to work with this organization, especially, is that it's. I mean, the motto is going to be where the activism is, because I mean, this is like Skepticon. We're now speaking from Skepticon. I mean, this is I've been in the States for like 6 months, 7 months so far. This is my 10th conference. I go to conferences and I do many speeches, so sometimes things get repetitive. like people talk about the same thing over and over again. Oh, I'm an atheist, you're an atheist. But there is a little bit discussion about how to get stuff done, how to reach on a Congress level, on how to change the blue laws, how to actually get something done.
Yeah.
This is what I'm actually focusing on. That's one of the reasons. I mean, I moved from Houston to DC for that reason. Which is good. I mean, even my have a cup of coffee is called Get Shit Done. I mean, that's generally why I moved to DC, is to get stuff done.
I'm going to put you on my list of people who can get shit done. I know Dave Moscato is already on that list.
Dave Moscato is wonderful,
he gets shit done. Now Liz is on that list because she found the guy with the toolbox and fixed my car.
Yeah, so we need more people to get shit done. I mean, that's my job, to recruit people who get shit done. I mean, I think that's going to be my job title for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Just put it on your resume. I get shit done.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I'm pretty optimistic. I mean, the more I look at statistics, and especially within young generations, I mean, I went to the Texas GOP convention, actually. That one happened in Houston. And it was many people who are young Republicans.
I'm scared of going to those.
Actually, I'm myself a curious person, and I like to be in hostile environments.
Yeah.
But many of the younger Republicans actually are supportive of gay rights, supportive of women's rights to choose for abortion. And those are the Republican Party, which are supposedly where the Christian right has most of the control.
Yeah.
And if you talk to young Republicans, you'll see many of them are pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, etc., more believing in freedom. And that's Texas, which is supposedly extremely red state. I mean, so there is so much hope. In the Gallup poll said, like, people who are under 30, about, I think, 40% don't identify with any religion. I mean, doesn't mean that they are atheists, but they are not...
Yeah.
They're the nuns.
Yes, they're the nuns. They're like not actively worshipping or actively trying to change laws into Christianity or into Islam or into Judaism, but rather kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in the East Coast now, and most people on the East Coast are not very much known for being religious. I mean, the Maine State and New Hampshire and even in Washington, D.C., some parts of Massachusetts, general people are, I mean, the norm is an atheist. I mean, the norm is somebody who is not really actually actively religious. I mean, there is not much active religious people in some parts of the East Coast, except I think from New Hampshire. And D.C. as well, because most of the congressmen are religious people. So
no, I would imagine like the worst you would get, not worst, but you know what I mean, would be like the hippy dippy, I'm spiritual but not religious.
Oh yeah,
you know?
this is I mean, I gave a speech in Berkeley, and I've met many of these people who like, I'm spiritual. I mean, as long as people are free to do whatever they want, as long as they're not hurting or legislating.
They're still secular.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, for example, they don't say homeopathy should be taught in science books.
Right.
Yeah, no one's advocating that.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully.
Yeah, nobody's advocating that.
Don't give them ideas, guys.
Yeah.
Because they all listen to our podcast.
But don't forget that they're actually kind of powerful. I mean, Oprah Winfrey, after what she said about atheists, like her interview with
I don't call you an atheist then.
What was her name? The swimmer?
The swimmer, Deanna.
Yeah.
I forget her last
name.
Nayad or something?
Nayad, yeah.
Okay.
I looked at her website and I saw that Oprah sells a lot of crystals and
she does.
New Age mythology. I mean, Oprah is a very influential person.
As much as
I
I love,
she's where some of that has come from in the last decade or so.
Deepak Chopra,
I still love Oprah for different reasons.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I love Oprah for other reasons, but no one's perfect, and
I mean, she kind of created like a business with Deepak Chopra.
Yeah.
And Deepak Chopra is like the king of woo.
Yes.
Have you seen? There's a Chopra
meme generator. I love this. It's one of my favorites. I mean, when I like kind of bored and stuff, I look at them and say like, consciousness connects nothingness into the skies. I'm like, okay, that makes total sense.
Deepak Chopra.
That makes total sense according to Deepak's dictionary.
We should get together and write a book just using the generator.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you just need to read his books. I mean, I have sacrificed my time to read Deepak Chopra.
I never have, and I don't think I will.
I commend you, actually. I mean, I think I made a sacrifice I'm not going to do again. because
Don't
like
recommend it.
he got stuff that no rational person can comprehend, but he speaks like a very vague language to the way that can be interpreted for hundreds of things. I mean,
Exactly.
God is nature, but God is not nature, and He is supernatural. Okay, Deepak, what's going on here? Yeah, he's the problem. I mean, what scares me a lot is like when I see like his books are bestsellers in Amazon, New York Times. I mean, that speaks about the big problem. I don't know if people are just buying his books for fun or they are reading it for. There's also this book, The Secrets.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I hate The Secret.
I hate The
it's
Secret.
Also, like if you think you are fat, you are fat. If you think you are skinny.
Yeah.
Everything is about thinking.
It's just a big book of victim blaming.
Yeah.
It's too much nonsense. Like positive. It's
The
always
positive
beautiful.
thinking
Yeah,
movement.
it's
Yeah.
always beautiful to be like positive and optimistic about things, but. I mean, this is delusional. I mean, there's a difference
Yes.
between being positive and being delusional.
There's actually a book out about that. Do you remember what it's called? You were telling me about it at one point. It was like the problem with positive thinking or something, and I don't remember what it's called.
There's a bunch
There's
of studies
actually,
I've read. That might have been.
No, there's
there's
seriously like a book that's like all about what's wrong with the positive thinking
Yeah,
movement.
there's actually a joke
And I
I
cannot
remember.
for the life of me remember the name.
It's on Facebook, so it says like your inspirational quotes has inspired me to delete you from Facebook because it's like so much nonsense. But things are changing. I mean, that's actually a duty we should take. I mean, as atheist activists, a secular activist. I mean, I don't like actually the term atheist activist because I'm more advocate for rationalism. And I think that rationalism is what leads to atheism. Atheism does not necessarily mean someone is a rationalist.
Because there are definitely irrational atheists out
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
So
Not
I'm
here
advocate.
specifically, but
I mean, the
out
more
there.
rationalism advocate for, the more critical thinking advocate for, the importance of evidence, the importance of reason. We will get rid of that. I mean, it's like I call it literacy of the 21st century.
Yes.
I mean, literacy of the 21st century doesn't mean all you know how to read or write, but rather how to critically think. Especially we are now living in the information age, and we are being
Yes.
pumped so much information at the same time. We need kind of a filter
Yeah.
in our brain, and that filter, in my opinion, is critical thinking and skepticism and things of that sort. So,
All right.
we are
Awesome.
heading into that direction.
Would you mind doing a little drop for us? We're having people say, I'm so-and-so and I'm a she-thinker. Or he-thinker or z-thinker, whatever you're most
Whatever
comfortable with.
pronoun you like.
So, I say my name and...
You say, I'm Faisal and I'm a she-thinker.
All right.
All right.
I'm a Faisal and I'm a he thinker, she thinker, they thinker, it thinker.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
I have a Jolly Rancher in my mouth.
Oh, well, this will be a fun interview then.
It's almost done, and then I'm going to put another Jolly Rancher in my mouth.
We're nothing if not
Do you have one of those to
professional here at
spare,
Shethinkers.
perchance?
They're at the secular women table. You should go check it out.
Okay. I
And
can just go
talk to
grab
them.
one.
Well, it'd be nice if you talked to them
Well,
about
sure,
the
yeah.
thing. So we have Richard Carrier on with us right now. Hi,
Yay.
Richard.
Hi.
And your speech is going to be later tonight.
That's correct, yeah.
At like 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one we're going to.
Okay.
It's harder for us to do the earlier ones just so we can do these for our audience.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
But in the evening, it's playtime.
Yeah. Evening
Yeah.
is playtime.
Yeah.
So your talk, it says in the program that it's about, is philosophy stupid, or what was it?
That's
I don't
it.
remember.
That's the
Is
title.
that it? Okay.
Yes, very
I love the
simple.
title.
Is philosophy
All right,
stupid?
I couldn't remember if it's stupid or useless.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the word useless will come up on one of my slides. But,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of a response to Lawrence Krauss and Stephen Hawking's quotes bashing philosophy, which raised a big stir. Like, Krauss's
I remember
comments
that.
he ended up debating a philosopher in the Atlantic, and he didn't come across well. And even
Because he's
Hawking...
not a philosopher.
Yeah, exactly. He got schooled, and then
Yeah.
even Hawking got some negative feedback, a lot of negative feedback on that.
Jolly Rancher number 2.
But I run into this a lot from sciences and humanities, both sides, dissing philosophy as useless.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of the same arguments and claims. And so my talk is going to start with the Krauss Hawking quotes, and then I'm going to continue on, because even some philosophers have said similar things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to debunk that, but I'm also going to bring up all the legitimate criticisms of academic philosophy today, because there are a lot of legitimate problems with academic philosophy. So it's going to combine that, and it'll have a little bit of history of philosophy in it. There'll be some things you've never heard of before, Newton was not a scientist because the word hadn't been invented yet. For example, in fact, it would be over 100 years later.
Yay, linguistics!
And it didn't even become popular until by the time Darwin was dead. So even Darwin wasn't commonly known as a scientist. He was known as a natural philosopher or a naturalist. Those are the kinds of things I'm going to talk about, plus lots of other stuff related to what's good about philosophy, what's bad, and I'll wrap it up by bringing it back to the common people, the average man and woman. How can you benefit from all of this stuff?
It is interesting that a lot of science originally stems from philosophy rather than science, and yet there's this huge amount of resentment towards it. And
that's relatively recent, actually.
I guess it's just from lay people not understanding the difference between philosophy and science. Maybe that's
I would want to talk to a historian of the 20th century, like an expert in intellectual history, to answer the question why, because I can hypothesize, but I don't really have good evidence as to what changed. I mean, I see scientists blaming philosophers, but I see scientists are the one who are trying to pretend that a lot of what they do isn't philosophy when in fact it is. So I think there's sins on both sides, and neither one has called the other out. And I don't know why that happened. I don't know what caused that transition, but it occurred during the 20th century. It was something that was the period when it happened.
I think it's I think it's interesting that there's this animosity between philosophies and scientists, and then the boy, my fiance, you don't listen to this show, but you should after this. Just to know what you signed up for.
Sadly, I don't have time to listen to any podcasts, and yet there are so many awesome ones now. I mean, there's really a lot. It's great.
Well, if you listen to any, make sure you listen to ours. But the boy is what I call my fiance on there.
Okay.
Because he didn't choose to be in this, but he's going to school to be an engineer. Mm-hmm. And there's actually animosity between engineers and scientists.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's hilarious because I have another friend who's a physicist. Is he getting a PhD or?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think he's about to start his PhD program, and he sometimes it's funny to watch two people I really care about both look down their noses at each other's professions. It's hilarious.
Right.
Because the boy is well, what do? You just do theoretical crap and do a bunch of math or something. I actually take all that shit and make stuff with it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Well, there's even in science, there's theoretical versus applied.
Both fields look down on psychology. So.
Both fields look down on psychology.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dori.
No, that's true. I've run into that as well. Yeah.
Well, all of them look down at hosts at restaurants, so, too bad for me. I'll get there eventually, guys. Yep. Do you have anything else?
Not too much. Do you want to give us some examples of how philosophy, why you shouldn't demonize philosophy, why philosophy is good?
Well, I think if you do, I'm not really against it because there is some valid criticisms. If you do, you need to make sure you clarify that you're attacking academic philosophy as it's currently practiced now, and not philosophy as a subject of study. It would be like if science wasn't making any distinction between pseudoscience and science, and they were publishing the same crap in the same journals, so some of it was good and some of it was bad, you wouldn't attack science as being all bad. You say, there's some good stuff in there. What they're not doing correctly is demarcating it and having better standards to tell the difference and having the right goals and pursuing the right things. So academic philosophy today is pursuing things wrongly, and there are actual philosophers who've made valid arguments and pointed this out, and I'll talk about them in my talk. Mario Bunge is one of the famous ones. He did Philosophy in Crisis, which is this book where he basically tears academic philosophy down, and he has these 10 points that these are the things you're doing wrong, and you need to stop doing these things and do different things.
I would probably want to read that book.
It's a good book. It has highly technical sections in it because he's writing for philosophers. So the way he chooses to phrase things is a little highbrow, so you have to translate it into ordinary English as you read it. But so you have to be aware of that going in. But if once you do that in your head, you go, oh yeah, that's kind of a valid point, especially if you have a lot of experience reading philosophy journals, talking to philosophers, dealing with current philosophy. You go, I see a lot of that. I know what he's talking about.
I was talking to a friend of mine, like, actually on the drive up here. We were, like, texting each other back and forth, and he was telling me to, like, some philosopher that I need to read. I mean, it's not important which one. And I was explaining that, like, when it comes to philosophy, like, I've always been an avid reader, but for some reason with philosophy, I could just never make it through. Like, if I can find something that explains what the original writer said, that I'm good. But I just have to, like, you and, like, Dan Finke, I think, are two of the best philosophy writers that I've found that are able to, like, cut through
that's one of Bunga's criticisms.
It's like reading a technical writing versus
exactly.
No, that's absolutely right. That's one of Bunga's criticisms, and I'm going to talk about it in my talk.
For a lot of modern philosophy, as well as, like, the older stuff too. And so we were thinking a way to fix that, because I'm really great. Like, I can read really dense literary works and gain the, like, understand the, like, learn philosophy from that. And so we were like, we should start writing books that are like, let's write a book on how do you say his name? Foucault.
Foucault.
I don't know how to say his name. I've only ever seen it written.
If you pronounce it in French, it'd be Foucault.
Foucault. Okay. We should write a book about Foucault and like just make it like a fictional book that explains his philosophy. Because I can read
that's
that
funny,
and I get it. But for some reason, the actual thing I can't.
That's kind of funny.
It's weird.
I was having a debate with a Christian, Victor Reppert, who's a major Christian apologist, over this thing called intentionality, which is when you talk about a person, the word about, it means that you're saying things that are intended to refer to something out there. And so he claims that there's no physical way to explain how our brains can do that. There's many reasons why this is ridiculous, but he's saying that therefore it has to be God implanted and so on. And I was trying to explain like how that works in the brain, like how we do associations, and it's standard computing of the neurons, and there's actual physical connections. And if you were really, if you really wanted to do it, you could do the whole physical connection from the light bouncing off their eyes to your eyes, bouncing off of them to your eyes to the neurons in your brain. You can show how all of it's connected and how you're making those inferences, and you can talk about things. And so I came up
talk of things. I don't have God in my life.
Right. So I came up with this. I never sent it to him, but I designed the script for this cartoon. It would be a silly cartoon with a caveman and a talking beaver, and the talking beaver was God, and he was going to explain physicalist intentionality to this caveman. A caveman who has no philosophy or anything. And it was kind of a funny thing, and it was and when I looked at it at the end, I go, that actually kind of would be a good way to do it, to explain these things.
You should just do Richard Carrier comics, and I'll read that.
I would need an artist.
It'll be like Chick Tracts, but with philosophy.
Yeah, I would need an artist to do it.
Oh my God, you should do it.
Well, if there are any artists out there who want to, I have scripts for this.
There you go.
And I had several. I had like 6 lined up. And I was going to do all the other argument from reason, because intentionality is one of the 6. There's 5 others. I was going to do them all in comic strip form with
just do stick figures like hyperbole and a half.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
Or XKCD.
XKCD. What,
I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm so stuck on the idea of the elegant cartoon of a caveman and a talking beaver. I just got to see that.
Okay.
So someone has to draw this for me. But anyway, if they're interested,
give me some paper.
Did you hear that, Shethinkers? Richard Carrier wants you to draw a beaver for him.
A talking beaver.
A talking beaver.
An intelligent beaver. An omniscient beaver.
We're going to take this completely...
So think of that.
We're going to edit this, and that's all that we're going to have of Richard Carrier.
We're nothing if not professional here.
A talking omniscient... Richard Carrier wants a talking omniscient beaver.
Don't we all?
And a dumb caveman. Perfect.
Well, we're looking forward to your talk later.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be awesome.
Alrighty.
What we've been doing is having everyone record a drop for us where you just say, I'm, Richard Carrier, and I'm a she-thinker, or a he-thinker, whatever pronoun you prefer, thinker. So
she-thinker's fine. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I am Richard Carrier. I am a she-thinker.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I am Richard Carrier, and I am a she-thinker. Let's try that again. I am Richard Carrier, and I'm a she-thinker. I'm a she-thinker.
If she-thinker is a better pronoun for you, we're fine with that.
I am Richard Carrier, and I'm a she-thinker.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, this is Keith.
We just met.
Oh, you did?
I'm their only Southern Hemisphere male listener,
I think so.
As far as we know.
But you have Southern Hemisphere female listeners?
I have no idea.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Yes, you do. One of my friends heard it and listens to it.
Oh,
now.
she does?
Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
Excited.
Yay.
Oh no, I have Jolly Rancher stuck in my tooth now.
Well, do you want to introduce yourself to our listeners?
Me?
No, not you.
Oh, I didn't realize you were recording. Hi, everybody. I'm Dirty Nerdy. I don't know if you knew me. All right. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Monette Richards, and I'm on the board of directors of Secular Woman. And I do not have Jolly Rancher stuck in my teeth.
I have Jolly
Just for the
Rancher all
record.
stuck in my teeth now, and it hurts.
And it's our fault.
It's Secular Woman's fault because I got it from your table.
Exactly.
So let's talk about what Secular Woman, is it woman or woman's?
Secular Woman,
Okay.
singular. We are an organization of women and men that started about a year ago. Our primary focus is to amplify the voice of women in the secular movement.
I love that.
That's that.
I like that focus.
It's a necessary one.
What are some ways that you, what do you do to amplify the voices of women?
Oh, so many things. Communication. Communication is such a big thing, and we do so much of that. We have member articles where we will feature articles that members of Secular Woman write for us on the website. We send women to conferences. We send some here. We send some to Women in Secularism. We support other programs and try to, ramp it up within the community. Women's Leadership Project out of LA, because it's one of those programs that just doesn't get enough focus from the other organizations.
Yeah. I've heard of the Women's Leadership Project before. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome what Sakiva is doing out there.
Yeah, that's something Hutchinson is working on, right? Okay,
yes, that's her project.
I was just saying, I have a hard time getting my organization straight, but I was like, I'm pretty sure Women's Leadership Project is Sickaboo's. Okay,
yeah.
That's
I love
okay.
her too.
We don't get anything straight on this show.
Haha, we're queer.
Yay!
I have to say, I noticed your tattoo. Can I see the...
There's
That's so
there's
awesome.
the We Can Do It, Rosie tattoo, and then there's the...
And then I saw the...
interlinking
various forms of love on your arm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like the male sign interlinked with another male and female and male and male and male, and you've
female,
got like
female,
more of
and-
them.
Yeah, ringing
and-
around the top part of my arm. I don't consider it finished yet, though, because it's a little too binary.
Yeah,
I would like to do some threes.
There's
and
some polys in there.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
confuse the fuck out of everyone.
that was one of our conversations last night where, my body ends up being the personal relationship structure of humans, where we're looking for patient zero.
That's amazing. Yeah, we were comparing our social justice tattoos earlier.
I was hoping that happened.
That's awesome.
I'm like, check this out.
Awesome.
I know Hina has the angry feminist thing on her back.
The power fist.
Yeah, the power fist. That's
And
what we call it.
We were talking. We need the social justice warrior icon for the.
Yeah, we need that. We
like
both
in
need
a
that.
power
Yeah, there we
suit
go.
with a power fist. Like,
Yeah.
Awesome.
like Hillary Clinton with a power fist.
There you go.
So you're speaking at tomorrow right?
morning.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's your talk going to be over?
It's the awesome speech of awesomeness, according to Lauren. That's the title she gave it, so I'm going with it.
That sounds awesome.
It's going to be completely awesome. We'll see how many times. It'll be awesome because I brought candy.
Okay, all right, I'll be there then.
But yeah, I will be talking about the current hurdles and obstacles facing women in the movement today and what we're doing to move beyond them. So.
That's great. What are some current hurdles, if I may steal your language there?
That we have to wait until the talk tomorrow at 9 to
Oh, damn it.
no.
I mean,
Spoilers.
this isn't going
No.
live until like tonight at midnight, so
And everyone here.
no one
Right.
here is gonna
Everybody's
hear this.
listening. Yeah.
They're gonna be out
No,
drinking.
it's not like there are any kind of secrets of the hurdles that women face. I mean, what is the portion of women that lead the secular and skeptic and atheist organizations.
Exactly.
I think the last time a Secular Woman did a report early this year, late last year, that it was like 29% women.
29%? Wow.
Yeah, which is actually
Which
just
is
a touch
than
higher.
I would think it would be.
Yeah,
it's a touch higher than the number of women in Congress.
My wow was because I knew.
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
That's higher than other places, actually.
Yeah.
But not
it's
as high
still,
as we'd like it to be.
50-50.
Yeah.
It's, and there's, I'm sure you guys have been aware of the online harassment that a lot of women face.
Luckily, we haven't gotten too much of that.
Although we did just have Rebecca Watson on the show.
We did.
No, that's,
And I hear she ruins everything.
Exactly. It's Rebecca's fault. Yeah.
No, we love her.
Oh, she's awesome. Her talk yesterday was hilarious.
It was so fun.
We had a great time talking to her yesterday.
Oh, good.
On and off the air.
Yeah.
We luckily haven't faced too much of that. Since we've only been going for a few months though. We've had a couple trolls show up on our Facebook page, and we're just like, oh, go eat a bag of dicks and shut up. Here, you're blocked. Go away.
Yeah. Blocking is a very, very useful tool.
I love that tool.
Yep.
And it's amazing how many people scream about, free speech if you block me.
Go talk on your page all you want about how much of a cunt you think I am. I don't care.
How dare you not let me harass you?
How
come
dare
on.
you?
Freeze Peach.
Freeze Peach, yes. Yes, freeze those
This is
peaches.
my favorite meme to come out of all of that is freeze peaches.
It's one of my
It's a good
Who drew the little comic thing? with
I
the
don't
frozen
know,
peach?
but Almost Diamonds
Stephanie
has it
Swan?
on the, it's
Isn't
her.
she at Almost Diamonds?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's Stephanie.
Right.
Yes, yeah,
I get
she has it as her.
I remember blogger names and then the name of the blog, and I'm like, who goes with what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets tough.
Yeah.
I'm really bad with names, but it's, FT bullies.
Yeah, I have had people come up to me and they're like, "Are you trans and godless?" That's my blog name, but yes, that's me.
You should just be like, yes, I am trans and I'm godless. Good job. How'd you know?
That is what I've done. I'm like, well, I am both of those things. I am also the writer of that blog.
I've never had anyone come up to me and ask if be like, are you dirty nerdy? But I don't have any pictures of myself connected to it, so.
Oh, for years I was involved in an online game, and of course everybody had their aliases online.
Yeah.
And then we were meeting in real space, and people, oh, you're Froggy, you're Frog Mistress. Like, yeah, that's me. That's how I identified for the longest time.
Yeah.
There was no real name there.
Yeah.
It works.
Yep.
Whatever works, man.
Hey, it's a culture.
Exactly. I know you wanted to get to this talk, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of great talks here today.
Yeah, I don't even remember what's going on right now. We got here really late because of a bunch of weird stuff that happened this morning.
We had to deal with this
morning.
No.
Oh, it's Amanda.
No. Right now it's David Tamayo.
Oh.
Doing the.
I don't know what time it is.
That's a good talk. I've seen him talk before.
Yeah, I saw him last year.
Hopefully we'll get him on the show too.
Oh, that would be great. His table was supposed to be set up next to ours, and I look forward to meeting him, but I haven't actually seen him yet.
I do too. He walked past me earlier, but I knew his talk was about to start, so I didn't want to bother him.
Yeah. No, it'll be
boundaries. How do you do that?
No, I must stop you
right
before your
policy in there.
Harassment policy.
I love that. It's and it has an exclamation point. I just saw the exclamation point.
Look at this over here. This is important.
And the idea that anybody can think that a harassment policy is a bad thing, as if they work in jobs that don't have them.
I know. If you're in any type of, I don't know of a professional, are you hearing us?
Oh,
okay.
I'm just wondering why I'm wearing headphones. Because I can hear you're sitting right in front of me.
It helps me hear because I have bad hearing.
I gotcha. Okay.
I don't know. Some people it helps.
It helps us with the background noise.
Yeah. Gotcha. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's fine. What was I saying? I don't know any professional career jobs that have conferences that don't have harassment policies at those conferences. Either their job that sends them to the conference has a harassment policy that you have to follow,
correct,
or the conference you go to has one. So I see no reason why we shouldn't. I mean, a lot of the people here are here professionally anyways. So
I don't even know why there's a controversy. What does it cost to put a harassment policy in? You already have to pay for the program.
Yep.
It takes you 5 minutes to write that?
Right.
There's not a big sacrifice going on here unless you're a jackass, and then you don't get to go to cons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then that's where it comes down.
I'm perfectly fine with those people not coming anyways.
Right.
Exactly.
If your behavior fits under what the harassment policy is supposed to stop, then I can see you having an issue of no harassment policies. But otherwise, I mean, yeah.
We're discriminating against the discriminators.
We're discriminating against assholes, and I'm fine with that.
Oh no.
It's kind of like when like homophobic like Christians say that we're bullying them for not allowing them to bully gays.
Exactly.
It reminds me of that, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know.
No,
Anyways,
it's a twisted logic.
So we're going to let you go to Amanda Neef's talk now.
Thank you.
Because I know you wanted to go see that. And but before you go, we're having all of our interviewees do a drop for us. And you have a very concerned look on your face right now.
Before you go, I'm ready to run. No.
All you do is say, I'm so-and-so. You just say your name, and I'm a she-thinker. That's all. That's it.
You could say you're from Secular Woman as well.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Just right now. Just go ahead.
Just right now.
I am Monette Richards from Secular Woman, and I am a she-thinker.
Thank you. That was awesome.
All right. Hi.
Hello again, all you she-thinkers, he-thinkers, and z-thinkers.
What about the zer-thinkers?
Well, if you want to be called zer-thinkers, that's fine. You can call yourself that, too. Use whatever pronoun you want. They-thinkers, you know.
Whatever gender-neutral pronoun jives with you. I can't keep up with all of them, so.
Yeah. And she
I like
works...
Sklee. Sklee is good.
Yeah.
Which one?
Sklee.
Sklee? I've never even heard that one.
That's the one from Futurama.
Sklee.
Oh, okay. I remember that one now. That's a good one. She works at an LGBT youth center, so she hears all of them at some point. So we're sitting right now with Steven Olson.
What's up?
Yay! You blog over at WWJTD still?
Yeah, I do some serious blogging. What would JT do?
Serious.
Super serious. I put on my serious pants. I don't get to do very much.
It's not
of that.
very often, though.
Yeah. I don't do that very frequently because I am very self-conscious of whenever I'm writing seriously. So I'll write things seriously every once in a while, but I'm very, very careful about it. I like to fact check and talk to people I'm talking about in the piece.
Yeah.
And so it takes me a lot longer to do that. So I have maybe 30 pieces that are on his blog that I've written. It's not very much. Most of what I do is comedy at Carl Sagan's dance party.
I do love Carl Sagan's dance party. I follow it on Facebook and I read the blog. Well, it's kind of a blog. Yeah, it's a blog.
It's a blog. Blog is the
that.
format for putting stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not a Captain Serious Pants blog.
Captain
I
Serious
sometimes
Pants.
lose my serious pants, and then I have to go buy another pair, and they're so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
They really are.
I just never wear serious pants unless I'm raging at something.
We're nothing if not professional here at Shethinkers.
I'm usually drunk or not sober in some other way.
But, it is 2:40, so it's
it's not sober in some other way time.
Is that reverse 420?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Is this when we
sober up?
Up? Or is it...
It's 2:40, it's time to get sober.
I like it.
And then in an hour and a half, it's time to
exactly, yeah,
not be sober in a non-drunk way.
Somebody made these rules for a reason.
We need rules in society, and for that you need God.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll just be smoking weed all the time, and who wants that?
I mean, you gotta have the designated not weed times. Otherwise, you don't enjoy the weed.
Yeah, it's kind of like how some religious people explain why there's evil in the world. You have to have evil, otherwise you can't enjoy the good. So it's you gotta sometimes not have weed, because otherwise you can't enjoy the weed.
So that's 2:40. We're making it a thing now.
2:40 is our problem of evil theological sober time. I don't know.
Awesome.
You want that one?
Sure.
Oh, sorry. This is our fan, Keith from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty cool, and he got us Australia key rings.
Because they're awesome.
Cool.
Oh.
You gave me... Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, okay.
I've got two left.
I don't know.
Okay.
He just put one over here, so I just put it on my keychain.
That's the snake one.
Okay. There you go.
Yep.
Just so the listeners know, we're getting gifts. Yay.
Hooray.
If you'd like to send gifts to
or
us.
bribes?
I don't know what he would bribe us for.
Yeah.
I think he's bribing us to go drinking with him later tonight.
I just assume that any audio format involves some kind of payola.
We haven't seen any of that yet. Actually, now we have. I have an Australia keychain.
I'm telling the FCC.
Yep.
Okay. Let them know. This doesn't go out over the airwaves. It goes on the internet. They don't give a shit.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it's the internet?
We're sailing.
I'm fucking leaving.
Yep. We're sailing the 7 seas of the internet.
We're internet famous, not actual famous. And actually, we're not even really internet famous, so there's that.
We have 1,000 subscribers. That's like internet famous.
That's more internet famous than some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as internet famous as Steven here.
I don't know if I'm internet famous.
I think you are. Just because it makes me feel better.
Yay.
By association.
We're a real show. We've got internet famous people.
No, but seriously, everybody listening should go and read Carl Sagan's Dance Party.
The name alone should make you want to go.
Like it on Facebook. I have to say, like, Steven and his wife, can I say her name?
Yes.
Okay. His wife, Nola, are two of the funniest people on my Facebook feed. So if you're not lucky enough to be their friends, you can like Carl Sagan's Dance Party, and then you get to have access to a lot of their funny awesomeness.
Carl Sagan's Dance Party is basically just anything that I thought was funny and I didn't quite have another spot to put it, that's where I put it. So it's a combination of articles and image macros. We did a podcast for a while.
I haven't even heard the podcast.
I have all the files. I'm going to put them back up.
Okay.
But yeah,
we know all about the frustration of podcasting.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not really a good model that works for everybody, and
we
it
just
can be a
normally. This is our first non-live show. Normally, we just broadcast it live, and we're like, all right, fuck it, we're done.
Yeah.
No editing necessary.
Yeah, we're not even editing any of this out. That whole keychain talk, that's going in there.
Yep.
Nice.
Every time, like, we tried to do it not live, and every time we did, like, we would lose the file or some shit would happen, and we wouldn't be able to edit it together, and so we're like, fuck it.
That's what happened the first time I interviewed George Hrab. Is I'm like, I interviewed him, and then none of the audio really captured.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of awkwardly never mentioned it around him, because I'm like, I don't know what to say. I didn't do it right.
It's even more awkward when they mention it to you all the time, like, hey, when's that interview going out?
Never.
And then you feel bad because, like, they wasted their time.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
I feel more learned now from talking to you. Isn't that worth it?
Yay.
But we promise this will go out because it worked out pretty well last night.
Yeah,
so.
last night we had
That's what
Rebecca Watson and Surly Amy, and it was awesome.
And Keith was on. We interviewed Keith. And who else? Liz.
Planned Parenthood.
And Planned Parenthood, yeah.
And Daryl Ray.
Yeah.
Can't forget Daryl Ray.
Don't forget to get Christina Shanda in here.
Who?
Christina Shanda.
Okay.
She's the one who wrote Christina-anity.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even seen her. Is she at the table?
Yes, sometimes.
All right.
Well, we're basically just grabbing anyone we can.
We are. I'm just
do
like,
mini interviews.
You, come interview with us. It works.
Yay!
I know that you wrote a book. I can't remember the name of it.
Unbelievable History.
Okay, I was thinking it was Impossible History, and I didn't want to mess it up.
That could have been good, too, but...
You should have me write your book titles.
Yeah, I should. The initial name for our conspiracy segment was the unofficial version, but then I realized but then we realized, first of all, no one gets that joke. We've made that joke so many times, and nobody's ever mentioned it.
I got that joke.
You got that
right away.
Just now.
So we actually just changed it to conspiracy ! And that works pretty good. But we realized
exclamation points make everything better.
Yep.
All of our book titles would have "un" in it, and it would just be really super awkward and weird. So, so we were like, okay, we got to change this up a little bit.
That's funny. So what is Unbelievable History?
Unbelievable History is basically me and my co-author Jess Whitson, we just wrote a bunch of history jokes, and then we're like, wait a second, we're both skeptics, and this is coming across in a certain way, and when you read it, it comes out as an injunction against bad revisionist history. So people like David Barton or Eric von Daniken, who have a motivated,
I love Eric von
inaccurate
Daniken
way of looking at the world. I love Eric von Daniken. I really do. I loved his stuff whenever I was a teenager. I believed it when I was a teenager.
No, I don't believe it, but I love it.
Yeah. Well,
I did not believe it up to 2 years ago.
Yeah, I never actually bought into religion, but whenever somebody said, but in the Bible, it was actually aliens, I'm like, oh, I fucking get that. I mean,
Yeah.
aliens make sense, but not the God thing. So I think that it should be a telling indictment of where religion stands in modern society is that aliens making pyramids sounded more reasonable to me.
Aliens. Aliens. That's my favorite thing.
Aliens. I'm going to do a lot of visual jokes in the interview just so that,
Those
know.
go
Okay.
great on radio.
It's amazing, yeah. Just so everyone knows, like, every time I've laughed, it's because Steven's doing something hilarious with his hands. And I'm not going to explain it to you, because I just want you to figure out what he did. Send in your submissions and guesses of what Steven was doing. What's her email?
SecularSheThinkers@gmail.com.
Yeah, send in your guesses of what Steven Olson was doing with his hands during the interview.
I'm also doing the entire interview Chicago style, which helps.
I don't even know what that means.
It means to do something without wearing pants.
Okay. I thought it was you eat a hot dog with tomato and weird shit on it.
But without wearing pants.
Okay, all right.
Well, David Fitzgerald didn't wear pants yesterday.
He didn't. He was wearing a kilt. Which is perfectly fine.
Yep.
It was perfectly fine.
Yes.
The stilt in the kilt.
Yes.
I don't know if the mics can pick him up, but Keith just said the stilt in the kilts.
That's got to be his next book.
Really?
It should be. If
It
it's
should
not.
be.
Have you read his romance?
Under the Kilt?
Yeah. It's very, very fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun for Godless Perverts last night.
And not the wilt in the kilt.
No.
Not the wilt in the kilt. All right. We've been having all of our interviewees, I don't know what to call it, our people that we interview do a little drop for us. They say, I'm so-and-so, and I'm a she-thinker, or he-thinker, or z-thinker, whichever pronoun you feel more comfortable
Yeah,
with.
I'm so-and-so from,
Whatever.
Carl Sagan's dance party.
However you want to introduce yourself.
However you want to introduce yourself.
I am Steven Olson from Carl Sagan's Dance Party, and I am a human thinker, also known as a she-thinker.
Awesome. Because women are human.
Yeah, I heard that once. It seems to be a point of contention for some people, but I'm pretty sure it's true.
I'm almost positive I'm human.
You heard it here first.
I don't know.
You can't.
I was explaining the podcast to this gentleman here, and it's already recording now.
Did I tell you about the picture I took earlier?
Come back later.
No.
So I walk by the protesters outside, and they recognize me. Like, oh, jt-eberhard. Like, oh, I mean, maybe JT ever lost. I'm like, oh, it's Pastor McBadden puns. And they're like, can we get a picture with you? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I pose with them, and right before they snap it, I go... And someone else took a picture of it at the same time and sent it to me, so it's on my blog as a shocking photo from Skepticon 6.
And we're going to do the same thing here that we did with Steven, since he made a gesture with his hands on an all-audio show. If you want to guess at what the gesture was, please send your guesses in to secularshethinkers@gmail.com. Or you can just go to his blog and look, but that's cheating.
That is cheating. All right, hit me. I know you women are good at deceit and trapping men, so I'm going to dance around all of your little traps.
All right,
We're
okay.
With my superior male
We're
intellect.
nothing but gotcha questions here
Nothing
on the
but
show.
gotcha questions. I did
Liberal
the gotcha
media
question
with their
last-
gotcha questions.
That was perfect.
Sarah Palin was set up
That's fine.
to look like an idiot.
She didn't need to be set up.
Right?
Oh, thank you for inviting me on. I love
welcome.
the both of you.
Yep.
Just so everyone knows, if you didn't hear him at the beginning, this is JT-Eberhard.
Hi.
He's a blogger.
Let's just get it out of the way now. I hate all women, every single one of them.
Yep.
Even the one to whom I'm engaged.
I thought it was just me.
No, it's all women.
Okay.
You have boobs, you're on the hate list.
Damn it.
Yeah, nothing but coal for me at Christmas time.
Well, I don't know how to segue.
I haven't
from
seen
that.
you in forever, so I'm excited.
But I guess. Oh, wait.
He's trying to get Michaelin's attention.
Yeah,
She
she's
should
looking around
come
for me.
join
I can
us.
see
She's
her.
a she-thinker.
Is she a
She's a she,
she-thinker?
and she thinks.
Oh well,
Michaelin.
she thinks when I permit her to.
What?
Oh.
Just so everyone knows, after this interview is over, I'm going to slap him really hard.
Maybe before the end of the interview, if it keeps
Maybe
going at this
before.
rate.
But you got to do it in the mic. That way you got to get sound out of it.
Thunk.
Oh, no! You hit like a girl. Awesomely. That's how girls hit.
That's true.
Hi,
true.
Michaelin.
Oh,
Y'all can share a mic. That's cool.
Yep.
JT is over here getting in trouble and saying he hates all women.
Okay, so I made a joke. I don't remember what the joke was.
I don't remember.
Something about like your tiny female brain.
Yeah.
And Amy was like, "Oh, you're coming on the podcast now." So like, well, you know me, I don't half-ass anything.
Yeah.
So,
we're nothing if not professional here on Shethinkers. That's our tagline.
Like everyone here knows I'm kidding that I love Amy and I love Dori. I think they're two more brilliant people I know. But like I know this is just gonna get quote mined on the internet and be like, "Oh my God, JT hates women and think they have tiny female brains."
He did say I have a tiny female brain though. It was mean.
It's true. It's a true quote.
Yep.
True quotes from Skepticon.
All of you.
And we're putting it in context right now.
Contextualized true quotes at Skepticon. New website. Owned it.
Oh, my Lord. a new series on
The
HBO.
Twitter account.
The Twitter account.
True quotes.
True quotes of Skepticon.
Jinx.
Same.
Instead of Jinx, we say same.
Oh.
Because it's from Arrested Development, and I love that show.
That is a good show.
I haven't watched it.
Job is all that is man. He's the real hero of that show.
A magician named Gob.
I love it.
Ow. She's pulling on my ears.
So,
Consensually.
Yes.
What were you saying?
So you're the last speaker of the convention this year.
There'll be 2 people in the audience, but I'm going to rock those 2 people.
I'm going to make them cry so hard.
No, I shouldn't be any crying this year. It's a really light talk. I sing during my talk this year, so.
Well, happy engagement anniversary, guys.
Oh, yeah, it kind of is.
I guess it is.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Nope, neither
You
did
guys
I.
are more on board with our relationship than we are.
Yeah.
Woot.
Yeah, it's kind of strange having everybody. I can't imagine what it's like for Michael because we're running around, and of course, we're getting taken aside by fans, which is awesome. We love it.
Yep.
It's good to know your work matters. But it seems like our relationship almost matters to people, which is kind of
It's really important to us that you
Strange
guys
but
make this
flattering.
work. I'm putting a lot of pressure on you right now.
There is no pressure. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and we walk away. Every day is a new day in our
And
relationship.
I pick up the pieces.
Oh.
Whoa.
It's really important to us that we're together because we want to be together, not because there's a rule or expectations of us
Exactly.
to be together.
Yep.
Even though I expect you to be together.
You can force them.
We
to
live
do
our
that.
relationship for Amy now.
Can I?
We're
just
just we don't care about consent.
We're doing it for
Feminists.
Dirty Nerdy now. We're doing it for Dirty Nerdy. It's not for the kids. It's like
My kind of show.
Yep.
I have to say, I really love Michaelin's dress.
She's getting so much more
Everyone
attention than me
loves
now.
it.
I'm
It's
angry
good.
and jealous.
I'm a big fan of the Star Wars, I
Yeah,
guess.
so for an all-audio show, you can
Fake
tell the listeners
geek girl.
what she's
Fake
wearing.
geek
No, for listeners out there who want to guess at what Michaelin is wearing.
I guess a towel. Is it a towel? It's a towel.
It's a towel.
Everyone
Is it a
loves
towel?
it.
Nothing but
Nothing
a
at
towel.
all.
Is it a jackal? It's a jackal. It's a jackal.
Fig leaves.
I wish I had a fig leaf outfit.
Well,
I
they
do
have
too.
a hint. She said Star Wars, so
That's true.
they can guess.
Guess for your super secret prize that doesn't exist.
You get your name
Not unlike
announced.
God.
Not
It's a
unlike
mystery
God.
that doesn't exist.
Oh, well, I'll put a plug for this company. It's from thinkgeek.com. It's an R2-D2 dress, and it's awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, I've seen those dresses. I've seen the swimsuits too, and I've wanted to get one.
Those are like $100.
I know.
It's a different site that does that.
The
I
dress
don't
with more
understand.
fabric costs far less.
Yep.
Well, it's different kind of fabric.
That's true. But how awesome is Skepticon that people can run around in like an R2-D2 outfit? I saw someone with a God mask on early.
Yeah, I saw God earlier today.
Is there a conference where you can get away with more avenues of self-expression than Skepticon?
Well, last year, our friend Kyle came as Candy one day, and I took Candy's tiara and wore that for a while.
I remember that.
And my name tag said "bitch goddess."
Yep.
Which I almost took that as
You
my
can't say
handle.
the word bitch. That's derogatory towards women. Why do you hate all women?
Well, I also blog at Insufferable Cunts, so
I just fell in love with you.
you hadn't already.
Just now?
Really? It took you this long?
I fell in love with you the moment we first hugged. I was like, oh, she'd give good
Aw.
hugs.
But what was I saying? Yeah,
Insufferable cunts is where you left off.
Insufferable Cunts. That's
no,
where
the
I always leave off.
self-expression at Skepticon.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's amazing here. It's great.
I've heard it compared to the atheist Woodstock, and I think that's pretty apt.
Yeah.
Which has to make you pretty proud since you're one of the founders.
I was going to say.
I was, and I'll certainly take credit for building it up from the beginning. But the crew that has it now, Lauren Lane, Jeffrey Marcus, Micah Weiss, Blythe, Rob, all of them, they have taken over and turned it into something more than I could have ever envisioned. They've done a wonderful job with it, and really all the credit does go to them.
Well, that's the great thing because I know with some atheist groups, and I've experienced this, is once the original leaders start leaving, it's kind of like hit or miss. Like either you have people trained up to come behind you, or it just like falls apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what's
I gotta hand it to you guys for having a smooth transition.
Oh, like I said,
because I'm all about smooth transitions.
Well, yeah, you are. You would be. I mean, that's been I had an SSA group that I started at my school, and I told them last spring. I said I can't be president next year. I'll stick around for a while, and JT. I'll stick around. He's doing something distracting. If you want to send your guesses to secular-shethinkers at gmail.com. Anyways.
No, go on. Don't stop.
I'm getting consent. This is how you get consent, people.
It's sexy.
So, what was I talking about?
First you're sexy, then you get consent.
Oh my god, you're talking about transitions. Stop.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Michael. Michaelin's the straight man now.
Yay.
Usually Dori is.
I know.
It's not how this works.
Oh.
So, anyways, I started this SSA at my school, and I told them back in the spring, I was like, I'm not going to have time next year to be the president, and you guys are going to have to take over. And they all were like, yeah, we definitely want to do this. And then I start this semester out. All I did was set up their meeting times. That's what I did. And then I was like, you guys take over now, because I can't do it anymore. I couldn't even make it to the meetings because I have to work. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I don't even know. Occasionally, I think the meetings are still going on. I'm still in the Facebook group, and they occasionally post in there about, like, I'm going to the meeting this week and stuff like that. But
so organizational transition is a huge issue.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
So as someone who's gone through that, looking back, do you think there's anything else you could have done to help them transition better?
Well, the things that I tried to do was, like, when I started in the last fall of whenever last fall was.
2012.
2012.
Excuse me, do you have the year?
I'm sorry, I kind of have a cold too, so I was like, I can't laugh very much.
Yeah, save your excuses.
Normally we're very drunk, so I guess it helps.
That too.
I guess it helps that you're sick, so it makes it almost feel the same.
Yeah, and I'm on Dayquil constantly. And Soma. Yay, pharmaceuticals. Woo. But where was I? Yeah, I started the group, and the first semester I wasn't really sure what to do with it, and people came to meetings, and it was really, like, relaxed. We just, like, chatted and got to know each other the first semester, and it was a small but still tight-knit group. And then the second semester came around, and, like, we lost, like, half of the 10-member group, basically. There were, like, 10 people who were in and out, but, like, considered regulars. And,
Got that?
Don't look.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sick.
Speaking of sexy consent.
Oh, God, no. Shut up. That's so gross.
Oh, baby.
We're editing that part out right there.
We don't edit anything.
No,
yeah.
I beg of you.
We do it live.
We normally do.
We do it live.
Fuck it.
That's how our theme song starts.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to be untrue to your theme song, Amy.
God, I hate my life. But, anyways, so, like, the second semester comes around in the spring, and I know that it's the last semester I'll be able to be president. So I, like, worked my butt off to get, like, five or six people. Don't touch that bag, Liz. That one. Just don't touch it. Warning people not to touch.
And don't be suspicious.
I spent the semester, like, lining up
never
speakers.
Talk to your children. Don't apologize for the war.
Lining up speakers, you know. So, like, we had a meeting every week, but because of scheduling conflicts with our regular location, only every other meeting could be public. So those were the ones that I scheduled, like, speakers. Every single meeting we had a speaker or some sort of event that I lined up, and I did all of this for no money. Like, I found people to come and speak to our group for, like, no money, and they were interesting, engaging, and stuff like that, and I put up flyers. Our most popular one was, I had Derek Main, who has since passed, that was very sad, come and talk about the Archosaur site. And we had, I got in touch with biology.
The Archosaur, that's where, like, 2 of every kind was on in the
No,
flood.
no, just shush.
Okay.
Shh. And I got in touch with the biology department, and the professors were like, we're going to give extra credit for our students.
I think Dolby's getting carpal tunnel from drawing so many things.
Yeah, I see him, like, walking around, cringing his hand together.
Yeah, he's like...
Got a photo or a picture.
Oh, cool. We're looking at pictures now on a audio podcast.
It's pictures go over great on radio.
It's the 10th.
I thought so.
It's the 10th Doctor and Abraham Lincoln fighting a vampire, Christopher Walken.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, well, he says, like, you can think up anything and he'll draw it for you for free.
The Walken Undead. I love that.
Right, so we're trying to think of just the craziest fucking thing we can, and sure enough, he delivers.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I love it. So,
okay.
Transitioning groups.
Right.
So basically, yeah, I lined up all these speakers to
so
try to.
So this one time I was driving. Oh, sorry.
And this is what happens every time I talk to JT.
I don't listen to you. You're a woman.
Derailing the conversation.
You
if
males.
I start listening to you, then eventually you'll expect me to start caring about your feelings and then your rights
and yeah, it all goes downhill from there.
It's a slippery slope.
It's almost like that.
It's a slippery slope to thinking women are people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta look out for that shit.
Fortunately, we all know you're just a pair of boobs. Okay, go ahead.
This is what we get for having white males on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, transitions. I promise not to interject again.
We're gonna run back to Tumblr now.
All right.
Well, anyway, transitioning is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. Let's just leave it at that. I tried to grow the group.
Okay.
5 or 6 people would show up at each speaker event. Different people every time.
Well, that's good.
But then they wouldn't keep.
Wouldn't keep coming back. And basically, the people who were most invested in the group, including myself, were either leaving school or wouldn't have time to do it this semester. So I just kind of did one big meeting at the beginning of the semester where like 10 people showed up, and all new people, again.
Yay.
And I announced to them, I was like, all right, if y'all want this group to keep going, these are the things we did last year. If you wanted to keep going, one of y'all needs to step up and be president because I cannot do it. And I assume they have because the meetings are still going.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, but I don't get to check in very much with them. So, yeah.
But
transitions are hard.
What's your favorite thing about Skepticon? Because it's our favorite convention.
God, it's you know I'm a public figure. I'm a public figure for a living, and so like honestly, my favorite part is meeting the fans, which sounds pretentious. Like, oh, I'm so internet famous, I meet all my fans. But not because I need the affirmation of my worth or anything like that. But the work I do, I'm very passionate about. I care about it a great deal. And earlier today, I had someone come up to me, this big-ass dude, in tears, saying he's fought with depression, and my Skepticon 4 talk made a huge difference in his life. And hearing things like that someone like me, who I don't dress up for my talks. I don't generally do any of the secularity type things.
Secularity. I like that.
I don't view myself as different than anybody else. I have a different job than other people in the movement, but that involves being on stage and being seen. But I don't consider myself better or different than everyone. So to hear that my work has altered someone's life or made someone's life better, that means the absolute world to me. And I find I have fewer conferences where I have a bigger fan base turnout than Skepticon. And plus,
it is free.
Right. Yeah. But also, I've kind of grown up with this. I started with Lauren. I ran the first 3. Skepticon 4 is the first time I ever held Michaelin's hand at Skepticon, and I remember being very, very proud about that.
You held her hand.
I thought the world of her.
Before we were married.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You hussy. I I was talking to JT, not Michaelin.
Just so we're clear.
True statement.
He's the aggressor here.
But he's the boy in this relationship.
He's the boy in the relationship, holding her hand.
I almost said something incredibly sexist, but I won't. Like, that one would have crossed the line.
Okay. As if the other ones hadn't.
So we held hands.
So, and obviously I think the world of her, and I did think the world of her even then, and to hold her hand in public and to be seen as her boyfriend was really... I was very proud.
Aww.
And then the following year I proposed to her, and she said yes, and here we are again. Like you said, it's our anniversary.
Surprise feels.
Yeah. It's kind of like...
Those are the worst feels.
It's kind of like rings on a tree trunk, you know. Every year Skepticon, adds another one to my life. So coming back here has got a lot of personal relevance to me.
Yeah. I don't know, this is my second Skepticon, and I loved last year so much. I was like...
We got drunk.
Oh, we got
in the
so
lobby?
drunk.
Oh, we're going to get so drunk again.
We are.
Hotel lobby tonight. Let's do it.
Hotel lobby.
Okay, it's on.
It's happening.
I hear there's a karaoke bar that somebody wanted to go to.
Oh.
I have no
That
voice.
would be so fun. I would love to do karaoke.
Okay.
Maybe we
Because
could
Rebecca
just
Watson also wanted to do karaoke, and she was on the show yesterday.
Nice.
She did Salt and Pepper with us. It was great.
And we're going to have Shelly on the show later, too.
Shelly Segal, she's going to play on the show.
Is there a more down-to-earth, kinder, good-natured person
I
than
don't
Shelly
know.
Segal?
She's adorable.
Maybe Michaelin. I don't know.
That's fair.
Honestly, a lot of times when Shelly and I are hanging out, what I'm thinking is, God, I wish you lived closer because you and Michaelin would get along so well.
I love Shelly so much.
Last night, I've heard her music, but I've never, met her in person. And I met her in person last night for the first time, and the first words that tumbled out of my mouth were, "Oh my God, you're adorable." That's all I could say.
I'll tell you something about Shelly, and she'll kill me for saying this, but folk singers don't always have the best voices. They don't always have the best vocal technique because it's just all about the soul. It's not about the technique. It's about the music and the words. Shelly is the exception. She, I remember seeing her when she was sick, and she opened up her technique a little bit to get over the sickness. And when she went up to her top, it was this open, almost operatic sound with vibrato. Like, she sings a stylized type of singing, but she's capable of doing pretty much any style. She's wonderful.
Yeah,
I really admire her as a trained vocalist.
That's great. I don't know. I'm sick.
Well,
I was going to say something, and I forgot what it was.
Well, we've been having all of our guests do a little drop for us where they say, "I'm so-and-so, and I'm a she-thinker or he-thinker or z-thinker, whatever pronoun you're comfortable with, thinker."
All right, here we go. If Amy can just not interrupt me.
I was waving my hands around.
So you
during
said male opinions. I hear right opinions.
Oh,
snap. Shut your mouth. Okay.
You just can't stop.
I know.
It does not end with you.
I don't half-ass anything. Anyway, okay, so I'm JT-Eberhard, and I'm a he-thinker who loves the she-thinkers.
Yay. Michaelin, you want to do one?
Oh, I'm Michaelin Eberhard, and I'm a she-thinker, and I'm better than JT.
She is. She's so much better than JT.
When I want your opinion, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Ow!
All right.
So we're here talking with...
Oh, wait, this is starting?
Yeah, this is starting.
Oh, was it recording the whole time?
Yeah, it's recording the whole time.
Hey. Hey, Mike.
We're nothing if not professional.
Don't use
here
that,
at
please.
Okay.
We can take off the first
part.
part.
We're going to start now.
Okay.
Didn't realize you were going to have a
feels moment.
A feels moment there.
Sorry about that.
Well, that's fine. We asked you how your night went. Anyway, so, all right, so we're back with Debbie-Goddard here, and she's going to be talking tonight, right?
Tomorrow.
Oh,
Tomorrow? I forget who's talking when. I never know, even though I have a program open right next to me.
And you have the best topic ever. ...
Yep.
10 a.m.
It's going to be so well attended.
10 a.m.
on
after
a Sunday. Yep. Yep.
So,
for those of our listeners who are either too hungover to make it or who are not here at Skepticon, what is your talk? What is ... 10 a.m. about?
Well, we talked about a couple of different things that I could have been talking about, and what I've decided to talk about is the students and young people, activists, Period.
Dot, 10 a.m.
What I think I'm going to talk about is this, and I say think because I'm going to take another look at my slides in context of some of the very interesting presentations that took place early as a student, as a frame to talk about some of the people who are now considered leaders and bloggers and writers and whatnot in this movement, who got involved as well as students. Some of the history there, some of the people involved, and then switch it from that to an international look at the movement outside of the U.S. And some of the awesome work that young activists are doing in other countries.
Yay. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's not one topic, though. So I was like, students and stuff. But the title is We Are Young, Let's Set the World on Fire.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I invented that combination of words in that order. Totally me. Someone was like, I don't know, that sounds familiar. It's pretty fun. Yeah, and I was like, well, my alternative was I believe the children are the future.
Just be like, yes, that sequence of words I said makes perfect sense.
Yes. Resonates well. Large crowd.
With my vocal cords,
across the
it
bar.
resonates.
Yes.
Well,
Period.
10 a.m.
We had a pretty fun conversation yesterday about queer labels, I guess, or the ever-expanding queer alphabet, or quilt bag, or what are all the different versions of, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you mentioned, Amy, quilt bag, which I gotta say, I remember stumbling across that term maybe only 2 years ago online and being like, ew. That's my least favorite.
It conjures up testicles to me. It's
I didn't
gross.
think about that, but thank you for planting that. I appreciate that.
Right, planting testicles, that's what Dori does.
Yeah.
It sounded to me like an insult the first time I heard it, but I knew it wasn't because of the person I was hearing it from, so I was really confused.
Yeah. It sounds like douchebag or dick bag.
Exactly.
A little bit like, man, you're a quilt bag, I'm a quilt bag. We're all quilt
We're
bags.
all quilt bags.
The quilt bag community of quilt baggers. Not my favorite. I was like, I hope this dies. I hope this term goes away. I know, right? Like, I haven't seen anyone really embrace it.
Probably
I've seen
because it sounds gross.
Yeah, I've seen it used online, but I haven't heard too many people say it except for kind of jokingly. So I sincerely do hope it doesn't stick. Just personal perspective. I mean, if it does, I'll define. But personal preference, please no.
For those who are counting votes.
Yeah.
You have 3 votes against
bag. Yeah.
I
actually went into what is it? Not acronyms, but when you rearrange anagrams.
Oh, yeah,
I went to an anagram generator and I put in different combinations of letters to see if I could come up with
a better one.
With these. The Q really throws it off.
Yeah.
And if you want to stick in 2 Qs, it's even worse.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't see any that I thought were any better. I did try. I went on one of those websites and I was here, here's some letters. Let me try adjusting the letters this way or that way. Nothing came up.
Yeah, the more letters you add, the harder it gets.
I mean, it's like in Scrabble when you get the Q. It's the worst.
You're like, shit. What am I going to do with this?
I guess if you're skilled, it could be the best. I don't know. I don't play Scrabble, really.
I don't know very many Qs that don't have a U. And so if you get a Q without a U, it's like,
damn Scrabble, I think they're together. There's a Q with a tiny U next to it.
Yeah.
I haven't played Scrabble in a long time.
Yeah, I don't play Scrabble
Otherwise,
either.
it would be, like, impossible. So it's like Q, and then there's, like, a little subscript U next to it.
Yeah,
it's
that does
implied.
I'm sorry I'm coughing so much during this interview. I'm trying not to.
How dare you bring your sickness onto this show?
How dare you be sick?
We are nothing but professional here at Secular Shethinkers.
Okay, I'll let Liz take over for me. Liz will be the dirty nerdy.
Busy fingering a kangaroo over there, or whatever the hell you're doing.
Liz. Liz, kangaroos cannot give consent. What are you doing? Especially ones that are not sentient. Or alive. I don't really know. Consentient? Is that the right word for it? It's a stuffed animal. I don't know.
I'm so tired from last night.
Yes.
Well, are you excited about Saturday and the drinking festival that is sure to ensue?
I think I'm less excited because of having to give a talk at 10 in the morning. That certainly makes it like, too bad. I can talk more about what some of the stuff I'm going to be addressing tomorrow, since those people.
That sounds good. Let's do that.
I mean, it'll be on the internet, right? Later.
It'll be on the internet.
They can just watch
tonight.
it.
Yeah. They can just listen to this.
Yeah. So some of the stuff that I think relates to topics that people have brought up so far is the different ideas we have about what humanism and skepticism are and what they do. Mm-hmm. Because in the U.S. and I would say most kind of Western movement activism, like we talk about skepticism, we mean something specific. Not really, but they're the Bigfoot skeptics, but then there's like the social justice skeptics, and there's the vaccine activist skeptics, but they're under one umbrella. And on another side is people who are more concerned with atheism and being anti-religious, maybe like fighting religion in the public square, on individual level, whatever. We also have humanists who might focus a bit more on the ethics and the community building. And I would say there'd be probably a more natural alliance with social justice activism than the other two, maybe. But also, most people involved identify somewhat with all three of these things.
Yeah.
And then we argue about whether a person is more on one side or the other, or a blog is more this or that, or if skepticism shouldn't touch atheism with a 10-foot pole, or if you're actually using skepticism right, shouldn't you be an atheist? And then the religious people, religion shouldn't be off limits to question, and all of this. Like, these divisions are things that we spend a lot of time talking about in our movement. But when you go to India, those words don't have the same prescriptions, I guess. Or when you look at activism in Kenya or Uganda or Nigeria, we have a bunch of activists there that I've been in touch with. They don't. What the hell is that about? Like they don't care as much. Some of how we define what our movement is based on defining it against religion, against superstition, which we see as two distinct things. Of course, that wouldn't work if you were in China or Japan so much. Those might be entwined. That doesn't work so well if you're in India. Like, what's the separation between religion and superstition with different kinds of ideas of religion? And I can't address all of that in my talk tomorrow, and I don't even know if I'm the best person to address all of that, because it's stuff that I've had to learn over time, and I'm still learning a lot about. But I think I could help maybe start the conversation by showing what groups do. Like, there's an atheist center in India, I think it's in Hyderabad, that does humanist and skeptic activism. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what they see atheism to mean to them. And it's like, what? So they actually do one thing where they bring in magicians and they train them for half a day in a workshop, and then they send them out to local villages to teach people magic tricks, basically. Like, hey, look, this is how you make a necklace be generated out of thin air. No, here, I'll show you the trick. This is how you stick a pin through your tongue. No, here, I'll show you the trick.
Don't actually stick that pin through your tongue.
Right. Because later, godmen, kind of people peddling certain kinds of superstition and saying they have certain powers, come through the villages and say that they can heal their kids or sell them trinkets with certain healing properties. And when the villagers learn how these tricks are done, they're like, oh no, totally, we know how you do. You're not really sticking that pin through your tongue.
They're like, oh, check it out, it's another magician.
Right, exactly. And so it takes away,
cool.
by teaching them this stuff, it's not even just like critical thinking, but it's information that they can use to think critically about new information they're being presented with. That's humanist and skeptical activism, right?
Yeah.
That has an effect, a big effect. So one of the things I'm going to talk about is one of our activists in India who's involved in some of this, and a god man that he successfully fought using some of this. But that's what the Atheist Center does in India.
That's pretty
and it'd be
awesome.
weird if we swept in like, hey, no, you guys, that's not really atheism. Yeah, you shouldn't really do that. That's not right.
I really, and this kind of ties into our discussion about gender politics. I really don't like label policing. I'm like, why can't you just let them say, like, this is the label I'm taking, this is the act. I mean, they're doing good work, right? So why do you care?
Yep.
I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
The schism of that is almost as important as the red versus blue schism of Skepticon this year.
Yeah, but we did talk about
the theme to make fun of this year at Skepticon.
We did talk about the idea, though, that when it comes to politicsing then sometimes these labels are important. For example, we, the community, are empowered when we can say 27% of people are now nuns. They're not affiliated with any religious group. Now, when we look at the demographics, a small percentage of that is actually atheists. And a lot of those nuns are spiritual and believe in God. They just don't have a religious affiliation. Yet we claim as ours when we're like, look at how big a movement we are. Like, and then listen to us, politicians, because we're trying to do these important things. Is it kind of, is that unethical to do? Are our goals unethical, or is it unethical when we try to use a broad term to challenge what people understand about these religious identities?
I only think it's unethical if you then don't also include those people during your conferences and other things. So if you're going to include them to play the numbers game, then you need to be at least somewhat welcoming to
you need to include
all the
their
people
voices
that fall under the nuns, all secular people, regardless of whether they are atheist or something else.
That's why we're the secular Shethinkers. I mean, Dori and I both identify as atheists, but we're open to having other secular people on who aren't necessarily atheists, because if we share the same goals, then
I don't really care what your, motivation or label is, as long as we're on the same.
It is kind of funny how, like, secular is one of those words. We know what we mean by it whenever we use it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I wondered, when the Secular Coalition for America started, I thought that it would be interesting if they had groups involved that were religious groups that also happened to be pro-secular. If by secular they meant specifically promoting the separation of church and state. Then in that case you could have Jewish groups and Christian groups and whatever groups, Catholic groups that again would be pro-secular. That seems to be a kind of umbrella that they might feel that they fit into, that we might be interested in having them as part of to make our coalition stronger. But it actually says right in their what their mission statement or their about page, a coalition of non-theist groups. So it's not just secular, it's also atheisty groups.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to use a different sense of secular than might, in some senses, be politically expedient, right?
Yeah.
And when they use it that way, we actually do see some religious people, I think particularly on the right, so not that they're right about everything, but who think that secular does mean atheist.
Yeah.
So when we say we should all support a secular society is one that's good for all of us to flourish in, they're like, no, that means atheist. That's code for atheist. You mean atheist by that.
Yeah.
And we're helping conflation.
That,
yeah, and so I wonder sometimes, not, I guess, strategically, but I see the effects of this, and like, at a person-to-person level and a local community level, I agree that it's really good. On the politicsy stage, sometimes
it
not so good.
It starts to matter.
Yeah, and politics is hard because some of these fights aren't nuanced ones.
Yeah.
Like, you need to buckle down and say, this is true and that's false and this is what we mean and here's where we go and here are our numbers. Even though people were messy categories. The end.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Wait, is that all? No, I didn't mean that. The end. I mean, we can still talk about it. You said 10 minutes.
You want to.
No, I just meant my rant. My rant was over.
It's been 16 minutes. Is that right?
Oh, this is only supposed to be 10.
I gotta cut out the other.
Oh yeah, we're cutting out the first beginning stuff. So
we're just calling them mini interviews.
Okay, cool. No, okay, that's my spiel then.
Okay.
We loved your spiel.
We loved it.
Thanks.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hopefully we will be there. We're recording drops from all of our interviews where they say, I'm so-and-so, and I'm a insert your preferred pronoun here thinker.
Aww.
If you would like
to record one with us.
Oh, man. I don't know if I have one.
A preferred pronoun?
Yeah. That sucks.
Oh. You can say, and
now I'm all like, I'm conflicted.
Somebody earlier said, and I'm a human thinker.
That's a good one.
Yep.
So you can take that.
I'm going to say that.
Okay.
What's the script again?
I'm insert your name and what organizations you're from, and I'm for your case, human thinker.
All right. I'm Debbie-Goddard. I'm from the Center for Inquiry and African Americans for Humanism. And I'm a human thinker.
Yay.
Lift me up, let me go all silvery. Planet smooth while you're lying next to me. Like the sun